Nikki in Niagara, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And welcome to vlog, oh boy, 12? Are we on 12 or 11? I can't remember. I'll have to take a look after I filmed this. But I remember filming 10. Maybe this is 11. Anyways, it's 11 or 12. So, I don't have a lot to say today, but I thought I'd log in and get something started for the next vlog, or else I'll have to rush and do it all in a day if I leave it any longer. Today's Wednesday, and I'm logging in at 5:15 in the evening or late afternoon. And I have been spending all day thinking about logging on, but just never quite making it, and continuing to work on this picture. And I wanted to do some of it on camera, so I was getting pretty close. So this is my Spin the Wheel book, and it is a Julia Rivers book. It's part of the Serene Little Village series. It's called The Wondrous Life Behind the Garden Walls. And it's all about animals going about living their lives in their little village behind the garden walls. So this is the picture I picked, and I think that I have found a new love, and that's coloring scenery like this. I wouldn't like it if there was people in it, but I like it when there's animals in it because I don't have to color them realistically if I don't feel like it. Well, and I can't color realistically, so they wouldn't be anyways. But I mean, realistic colors or not. So what was I did a scene just not too long ago. What was that? I don't know, but I've colored 3 or 4 of these now in the last little while. I don't mean this month, but I mean over the last couple of months, and I'm just like starting to like really look forward to coloring these kinds of pictures. And I never ever thought I would. So what I really want to do right now is get a Teresa Goodrich book. Only problem that I have with that is there's too many dogs in them. Like, I really like the looks of the one called Country Charm, I believe, but it's like every other picture has a dog right in the middle of the picture, or it has a dog sitting on a chair, or it has a dog over to the side or whatever, and it's like, ah! Because remember, I really don't like dogs, and I don't want to be coloring a nice wonderful picture and have a dog in it. It just, I don't know. It's just the way I'm feeling. So I guess I should get coloring. So I'm using my Artezas, and I was working on this little dirt part here that the mole is in. But I figured when I came on camera I would color the flowers and start getting some colors into this. The very first thing that I did was I colored the leaves because, God forgive me, but I love coloring leaves. I do. I just love getting out all the greens and coloring all the different leaves. And I like grass too, so that was the first thing I did. I did this bit of grass up front, and then I started here and I started working on the leaves. And when I got here, I realized I'd forgot some grass. So I did the grass here, and then I started filling in all the background grass. So as I've been coloring, I've been thinking about the flowers. So I want these ones and these ones to be blue, and these kind of clustered ones here to be purple. So I'm using my Artezas, or Artezas as some people call them, but I like to follow the rules of phonics when I'm reading words that I don't know what they are, and phonics tell me that the word should be pronounced Arteza, so that's the one I'm going to go with. So there's my blues. Let's pick one here. So what kind of blue was I thinking of? I was thinking of kind of like this, but not too dark. Ooh, right there, that's a good one. Sapphire blue, which is 103. So that's here. Oh, maybe I'll get out the purple while I'm at it. Okay, so I wanted them to be like purple purple, blue purple. So we got that one. Don't have a lot of dark blue purples in here. Okay, well I guess we'll go with amethyst. So that's 088. Hello? Did I read the number right? 088, amethyst purple. Oh. I guess I didn't put these ones in order. Looks like I've done it up to the blues, and then starting here with the purples, I didn't put them in number order. No, the browns are. Oh, I totally skipped the pinks and purples. Alright, so I've got them sorted into the color, like the rainbow sequence that I like, and then within each color I order them by number so I can find the one I want. Okay, so let's sharpen these two guys here. And this is my beloved Coom something metallurgic, I don't know what it is called, metal alloy something long point sharpener, which I love with all my heart. A little bit more. There we go. One thing that you have to do when you're using this is that you put it in firmly, and you keep it in there firmly while you kind of like push on it a bit and turn. You don't want to be delicate with it. Alright, so let's start with the blue ones. I love blue flowers, don't you? Oh, no. We have centers. I'm going to grab a yellow. Sunflower yellow, that'll do. Give it a sharpen. Looks like it's getting to be about time to empty my shavings. That's good. Isn't that a beautiful shaving? Don't you love it? Oh, the simple things that will please a colorist, really. Okay, so let's color in the centers of these guys. So, really I only have one topic that I want to talk about, and that is about using my art supplies. I have done mixed media for, in some shape or other, for probably around, well, my son is 20, and when we moved here he was 4, and I know we moved my mixed media supplies then, so 16, 17 years. So I've got a lot of supplies. I've been through them many times, getting rid of stuff that I didn't use, but then of course I bought new stuff that I did use, and so anyways, I kind of found my place, and my supplies are all kind of geared to that place that I found for myself. And I basically worked with acrylics and stencils and stamps. Not as much, but nowhere near as much as the stencils. I was majorly into stencil art. Not making the stencils, but using them in my work. So, whoops, I forgot one. So I have lots of acrylic paint and other kinds of paints. I have tons of mediums. Got a great big, really deep, kind of like drawer unit thing that is full of all my different mediums. And to say that, I need to go out and buy a new medium because it's one I didn't have. And that's the, well, the other brands make it, but it's easiest to find by Golden. Golden acrylic satin liquid medium. Yeah, so it's a satin medium, satin liquid medium, but it's acrylic based. So I used to use acrylic matte medium to cover my pages with, to watercolor on them, and that was perfectly fine for you know, covering up pieces of text, paper from books and whatever that I was watercoloring on when I was doing mixed media. And I have put it on to a couple coloring book pages in my life and messed around with that. But everybody's talking about using this satin medium. And I mean, the only difference is the finish on it. The matte medium has a matte finish. This satin one has a satin finish, and there's also a gloss one, which I'm pretty sure I have, which has a glossy finish, and you want to use that if you're using, like, but that's to put over, you know, like you often put it over your work when you're finished. And you can use it as a glue and all sorts of things, but colorists are using it as a base coat to do their watercoloring on, because the satin stuff has a really smooth, satiny finish on it, and so it enables you to use your pens and like markers and stuff. And so anyways, today I was watching, oh my goodness, what is her name? I'm new to her channel. Coloring with Kay, that's it. I was watching her, what she was doing on her pages after she had prepped the pages with that stuff. And it really, really, really pushed me to go get that stuff and dive into using my watercolors, because I've talked about this before, and I really want to start using my watercolors in my coloring books, because I have enough of them, and you know, I like doing it. It's just, you know, I haven't done it neatly. You know, when you're working on mixed media, you're like, you know, when you're throwing something down and just it's one of the reasons that I stopped doing it, was I was just fed up of the mess that my art table was in all the time. So I want to get some of the satin medium, and then I'm going to do it. But what I would like to do for the channel here is to go through, do a video that's of that shows you all my watercolor supplies. Watercolor, water soluble, you know, that kind of thing. Have a video that shows you all my stuff. Because I'm going to have to get it out to put it, I've got it all piled up on the top shelf of one of my carts, and that's where I'm gonna store it all. So I need to take it all off and put it all back on, like, neatly, so that I can get to the stuff. And I have a feeling it won't all fit on the top shelf anyway, so I'm gonna have to do some organizing. So I'm waiting for last month I ordered a watercolor palette because I thought that maybe what I needed was to get a new supply, and then that would like spur me on to using the watercolors. So I ordered myself a new palette. It's just a 12 set. It's one of those Prima ones, and I just absolutely love those. So I thought I would get that, and yeah, so I want to wait for that to come in. It's been stuck in New York, but I took a look at the tracking today, and it moved from one city or town to another one yesterday. So hopefully that means that it's going to be crossing the border, and hopefully it doesn't get stuck there for 6 weeks. Yeah, hopefully, and I think I've said that word too many times now. Hopefully that it will get here soon, and then once it does, I will make that watercolor video. And so while I was doing that, I was thinking that I could make a video of my collection of stencils, because I'm going to need to go through that and find the ones which are going to be appropriate to use in coloring books. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So why not make a video of the collection while I've got them out, and then I'll be doing the same thing with going through my stamps. So maybe I'll do a video of that too, as I sort through them and see which ones are appropriate for coloring books. Oh, excuse me, my throat is just all frogged up for some reason, but that cough seemed to help. Okay, so I've got a bit of a different flower in here mixed in with this one, but first do the purple up there. So let me know if those would be interesting videos for you to watch, to look at my collection of watercolors and water-soluble stuff. And that would mean like not just doing my watercolors, but, you know, doing my watercolor pencils and my water-soluble crayons, you know, like Neo2s and that kind of stuff. And the stencil collection, because I have quite a large stencil collection, because, as I said, I was really into using stencils in my art. And I don't know about the stamp one. It'll be kind of hard for you to see the stamps, because, and I don't want to get out ink pads and start stamping everything all over the place. So maybe not. I'll see if I can make it viable. And then, of course, one of the things I want to do is start printing some of the PDF pictures that I have, or even copying something out of a book and printing it off on all the different types of paper that I have. I have tons of artist pads of paper and stuff that would be fun to color on. Okay, so these are not those. No. Okay, so let's... Now see, these ones right here, I want it to be periwinkle. I know, I don't even know if I have a periwinkle here. Let's see if there's one called periwinkle. Oh, there is one too. Oh, it's a bit light. But I don't see anything else like it. Okay, so let's get that out. That's in the blue section, number 66. I hope my head's not going in. And excuse my chubby arms. Is this it? I didn't know I'd been using it. No, these aren't in order either. Well, they are up to there. Oh, 68. I've given it the wrong number. Huh. Get a pen. Let me change that. It is 68. There is no 66. Okay. I'll put that back there or else I won't be able to find it. Okay, so those are going to be periwinkle. And then what color should these be? Okay, well I know these two over here are going to be red because they kind of look like tulips. So let's do those two. As long as I know. The Artezas have a lot of reds. It's one of the, I think we'll go with rose red. That's number 1. It's one of the selling points of this set, because it has more reds than usual. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to cough again. So anyways, you know the house across the street that I was telling you guys about? There are actually people over there. I haven't seen anybody since the sign came down, but last weekend they had workers at the house, and they were doing something with flagstones in the front. Well, they have this little flagstone patio that was kind of a mess, and they took it apart and laid down new flagstones and raised it a bit so it would be straight. And then I saw them doing stuff out in the back, but I have no idea what that was. And so anyways, I've seen a man walking around, coming in and out of the house and kind of hovering around his car in the driveway. So, if he's somebody who's living there, I don't know. I can't imagine that the house is going to be flipped again. That would just be, I mean, like, how many times can a house be flipped? Because it's already been flipped 3 or 4 times. So, centers of my flowers are always yellow, unless sometimes if it's this big or bigger, I'll start moving off to a yellow ochre or brownish. And I didn't. I'm going to sharpen the periwinkle. This one's getting short. That's the problem with soft pencils, is that they require sharpening more than a hard one, and they go short quick if you use the color a lot. But I just love soft pencils. Even if I'm not blending and I'm just straight coloring like I am for this picture, I just love the way they feel and the way they go down. And yes, I would never, what's that? Oops. Would never trade my soft pencils for hard ones. So, speaking of pencils, remember last week when I got those pencils in from those open stock pencils in? So I have used them and I love them all. My first impression of them, I wasn't too keen. Well, it's not that I wasn't too keen, it's just that just by holding and looking at and giving a teeny weeny little stroke on a piece of paper, I thought that I might not like the Pablos. But I love them. Like, okay, so I got one luminance and I got 3 Pablos and I got 3 polychromos. So first of all, let's just say that of course I fell in love right away with the luminance, because I mean, people talk about like how wonderful it is, and it is. You don't know how wonderful it can be until, if you've never used a luminance, you will not know what it is you're missing until you actually use one. And if you like soft pencils, like, I don't know what a person who doesn't like soft pencils would think of it, but oh, it is just divine. And it's a soft pencil, so, you know, it's not as soft as a Prisma, because I think the Prismas are sort of like all by themselves. There's nothing that's like a Prisma. I mean, there are things that resemble a Prisma, or that can be compared to a Prisma, as long as while we're comparing them, we know that the Prisma is in a league of its own for softness and blendability. But the luminance is not as soft as that, obviously, but it's pretty close, and it's just really nice. So get that out of the way, because now the other two, the Polychromos is a hard to pencil, but you don't know it because it works so easily. You don't have to put any pressure on it to get some good pigment out. And I'm a straight colorer, so like, I'm not going to do 18 layers. I'm not even going to do 7, and it's very unlikely that I'll do 3. I have done 2. And if we call going like this in the same spot making layers, okay, I do that. So yeah, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on just to get a good pigment out of it. So it's fine for straight colors, and it's smooth and creamy. I don't know about this when people say pencils are buttery. I don't see the comparison to butter. I do feel them as being creamy though. Okay, see, I'm going to go around these one more time because I'm not getting the color I want on these. And I don't want to push hard. The Artezas are very, very soft, and they're very comparable to the Prismas in layout. Is that the correct word for it? Of what they give off, and they're easily blendable. But we're not talking about that. So I mean, yeah, I like the polys. I would be extremely happy if somebody bought me the whole set, and I would use them, and I would love them, and all that kind of thing. But I'm very intrigued by the Pablos. One thing about them that's very different from the other 2 pencils and from a lot of pencils that I have, these ones or whatever, is that it grips the paper. And it doesn't matter what paper I use it on. I used all of the pencils to color a picture in Rhapsody in the Forest. So that's some really nice paper. But the Pablos just like grip the paper, and I just absolutely love that feeling. And they're smooth, and they're I guess a medium. They're not hard, they're not soft, like breakable soft. I mean, I felt like they were soft, but there was something in them that made them relatable to hard, you know. Is there such a thing as a medium? Because that's what I would like to call them in my limited knowledge of pencils. To me, they're like an in-betweeny. And I love that. I didn't like the lime that I got because it's way too yellow. It's not dark enough. I don't think it should have been called lime, because that's why I chose it, because I was looking for a lime, and that one was called lime, so I picked it without really paying enough attention to what color it was. But other than that, the turquoise and the red were just like beautiful colors, beautiful lay down, and I loved everything about it. But I especially loved the way it gripped the paper. And I did think that it has a hexagonal barrel, and it's also a thin pencil. Like everything I'm using here is a 4mm. What am I saying? Everything. They're all Artezas. So these are the larger barrel ones, like a Derwent. All the Derwents. Well, no, I guess not all of them, but most of the Derwents are a 4mm barrel, and that's what. Oh, that was one thing about the Luminance. That has a huge barrel. Like, what is that? That must be like a 7mm. It was way bigger than a Derwent, anyways. But that felt nice. I liked that. I'm just going all over the place because the truth is I liked all three of them. And I can't pick. But if I had my choice, I know I can't afford the Luminances. Like, I could never get a full, complete set of Luminance, so we'll just put them out of reach. So between the Pablos and the Polycremoses, if I could buy a full set, I would get the Pablos. But don't get me wrong, I would be happy with the Polychromoses too, so I'm not putting them down in any way. It's just that, you know, if I had the money and I could just go out and buy one complete set right away, today, I would go out and get the Pablos. I do want to get one of those higher end pencils, because it's not that I'm a great colorist or anything like that, but I think that, you know, I mean, we can do things perfectly. If you're skilled, you can make beautiful pictures using the most basic supplies. But I also think that having the best supplies helps someone improve their skills. Now, you don't need them, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Alright, so now, I think I was just looking on here and I was seeing some orange, and I think maybe that's what color I will do these ones right here. So, I don't want like a orange. I want something with a little bit of something to it. Maybe coral? Maybe not as bright as I want. But no, it's pretty. I'm going to go with that. So, and the oranges, I want 46 coral. There we go. So, how long have we been? Oh, I've been over half an hour already. My goodness. Okay. I guess I didn't need to worry about having something to say. I haven't closed my mouth since I started. In fact, I was talking before I even started coloring. Okay guys, I'm just going to do these flowers right here, coral, and then I'm going to go because my throat is a little bit hoarse and my mouth is very dry. I forgot to bring my drink over here. And I just saw that someone had uploaded a video of the Faber-Castell Black Edition, so I want to go watch that when I'm done here. I'm really intrigued by those pencils, and I mean, I gotta say it, one of the reasons is because they're black. And the other reason is because they are so vibrant. The colors against the black barrels look like they're just amazingly vibrant. So the only thing is that they're supposed to be great on black paper, so that's fine. And if you're an artist, like an illustrator, you know, you can draw on them and color in your drawings and, you know, have a great old time. But as a colorist, what good does it do us that they're great, that they work great on black paper? I have never come across a picture that was printed on black paper. Yes, there are black backings, but you're actually coloring on the white. How can we print a picture on a black piece of paper? That's what I'd like to know. Can you set the color to white? Will it print out white ink? I doubt it. Yeah, But yeah, I have them in my cart. So, yeah, somebody said that they didn't have them on Amazon.com. Well, they have them on Canada. In case you're interested. Okay, so I'll stop there. And, yeah, so I'll log in again. And, oh, next time I color, I'm going to be coloring something that was requested. So you will see what that is in a minute. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to sign off, and for you, it will be a second, and for me, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it'll be at least a day. So, see you in a minute. Hi guys, I'm logging in on Friday, and it is 3:30 in the afternoon. We are having a beautiful day. It's a bit windy, so it's keeping the, well, I don't know if it's keeping the temperature down, but it's not feeling as hot as it is. It's in the 80s, which is nice for now, as we've had some pretty scorching days up in the high 90s even. So yeah, it's nice when it's warm like this, but it's windy, and there isn't much humidity, which doesn't happen often. It's strange for it to be this warm out, and my hands aren't swollen, my feet aren't swollen, my calves aren't swollen. So I do not have any notes written this time. So hopefully I'll be able to find things to say. It's just that nothing happens. So anyways, let's get down to the coloring, and then I'll start the talking instead of doing it now. First of all, before we do some coloring, well, let me tell you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing Creative Havens by the Sea, Color by Number book by George Tufexis. This is his latest book, so that's why I've chosen this one. I also haven't started it, and I want to, but I had a request someone asked in the comments, said that they would like to see me color out of a Creative Haven color by number book. So I am going to do that and show you just how I handle these books. But before we get to that, I want to show you this book and have a quick flip through of it, because I will have an official flip through. It will have its own official flip through later on my channel, and it will also show up in the end of this month's haul. But this is Happy Mail. I received this from a wonderful, wonderful lady who is a subscriber of mine, and she just blew my mind when I opened a package that I actually was not expecting anything from Amazon at the time. And you know, when you open it up and I'm like, why do I have this? I know I want it, but why am I getting it? And there was the wonderful note from this lady. I won't say her name because unless somebody specifically says it's okay for you to say my name, I don't like to, because lots of people don't like the recognition. So you know who you are, and I've already thanked you privately, but I just want to have a big shout out to you, and thank you for this book. It was a really, really wonderful thing for you to do. So very kind. Anyways, when I got this book, I was so totally shocked, because I've had this book in my wish list since it was a pre-publication. So it was a pre-buy, and I never did actually pre-buy it, obviously. And it just has not made it home with me since then, and I think that's 2 years ago. So anyways, the night before this arrived, I had been looking at this book and looking at flip throughs of it and trying to decide if I should move it again over from my wish list to my cart. And it's a good thing that I didn't, because it would have come up as saying somebody has bought this for you. And because that's what it does on my, I've marked my wish list to let me know if I'm going to buy something that somebody else has already bought for me. So it would have said that, and it would have kind of spoiled the surprise a tiny bit, because at least I would have known that it was coming. So yeah, so that happened. But before that, I guess it might have even been the night before that, because that's why I was looking at it. I watched a video, and I don't even know who it was from. I think it was an older video, and somebody was coloring in this book and showing how they colored in it. And each page has aliens on it, and it's like a really busy book. Instead of Fright Seek, you know, it's kind of like a find and seek. I'm not 100% into the finding part. I just like coloring really busy pages like this, where there's all sorts of activities going on. And the lady that I saw coloring in this book showed how when she colored a page, she colored all the aliens the same color. So she takes a page like this, and I think she actually started with some of the background, because that's what I do too when you have a big page like this, is I start with the background, because it kind of settles things down a bit, and you can see the individual things that are going on better. But then she colored all the aliens one color, and then kind of based her color scheme around that, and they were so nice. So anyways, the book works like this. On this side, you have the name of your page, Alien Invasion. Let's see, let's get in the right spot here. There we go. And then there's the guys that you're supposed to find on here. And that's their name, and it tells you a little bit about them, and they're the seek and find. And then you have a massive picture like this, kind of like a Where's Waldo type thing, where you've got all sorts of little things going on. You just have to take a little look right here, and you've got this little alien dog guy reaching out for this guy who's looking up at, pointing to the UFO in the sky, and then you can just take a look at anything. Here's an arm reaching out, grabbing a guy, you know. And it just goes on, and it's all interconnected. So let's just take a quick look at the pages here. So that's Alien Invasion, Crazy Town, and I love that they have the black so much black in there. It's not necessarily the background, but yeah, I do like it. So this is Food Fight, Time Traveler, Back to the Dinosaurs, Candyland. That one's hard to make out. Alpine Adventure, Circus. Oh, that's going to be fun. I love circus stuff. Oh, I love that. Fright Night. This is Halloween. Yeah, this came out for Halloween 2 years ago, but it was a paperback edition of a book that had already been published, and I forget its name in hardcover. Future City. This one looks a bit calmer than the other pictures. I kind of feel like I want to go in order in this book, though. Fairgrounds. I like that. Science Lab. Super Safari. Oh, and the illustrator of this book is Lee Menendez. Is that his name? No, Lee Melendrez. And he is the person who started the 4-book series of wild doodle books called Ziflin books, and there's 4 of them, and one of them is, oh, that was a graveyard. One of them is Doodle Invasion by Kirby Rosanas. Yes, his first book. So I would think that these two guys are friends. Under the Sea, Robot Factory. Let's just River Rampage, Forest Hunt. Skipping pages now here so we can get on. Oh, this one doesn't look too busy either. That could be a good start. Volcano, Pool Party. Oh, this is the one she was coloring. Awesome. Lost in the City. And then I imagine at the back it has the answers. Yeah, it does. So there's your hidden people that you're looking for, or aliens. So once again, thank you. I'm really excited about that book. Okay, so this is what we're going to color in now. I usually start at the beginning with these, but I think, oh, I don't even have a blotter page. Let's see, what can I reach here? Okay. Here's a blotter page. Brand new one, I haven't used yet. And I think we'll need these as well. So usually I do these books in water-based fine liners because there's so many small parts. But these ones have a lot of large space. This book has a lot of large space because it has all of the sky area, and it also has some water area. Now it looks like the water is divided up into little pieces, so that's okay. But we do have some large sky going on there. So I think I'm gonna stick to my regular way of doing this. But I'm going to add Sharpies to use for the sky. So let's see, we're going to be going this way. And I'll put in my... Oh, that might be a better one to do. Oh no, I have to start from the beginning anyways. So, now usually what I do is that I start with number 1. We have our color palette here, which is a little annoying, but this is the way that they do it. So you do have to keep looking back. And usually the way I do it is I start with 1 and I work my way through the numbers, because then, let's say I'm on number 8 and I notice that there's a 4 close by. Well, if I do the numbers in order, if I ever see a number that's smaller than the number that I'm currently doing, it means I missed a spot. And then that way I can fill in the spaces that I missed as I go along, because when you're working on one this size, you're bound to miss. Heck, I miss spaces on the easiest of ones. I will be stopping every now and then to have a sip of my drink, because for the last few days I've had this voice that just suddenly decides to get all froggy and then it like disappears on me. So I'm not sick. I don't have any cold symptoms or anything. It's just maybe I'm not talking enough in my real life. But I'm not going to do it that way, because hey, we want to see something colored, right? You don't want to see me just filling in spots of yellow or whatever color number 1 is. So what I figured we'd do is, let's do the little lizard here, and then we'll move on to a flower, or maybe the umbrella and then a flower if we get the time. So gonna need a 15, which is blue-green. So these are my fine liners. I have approximately a 12 pack, no, a 18 pack or something like that of the Stabilo fine liners. I have a 12 pack of the Stettler fine liners. I have a 24 pack of the, I believe they're called, what are they called? Oh, that's not it. Oh, here's one. I think they're called Signature. No, okay, yeah, they are. But Sketchbox Signature. When I was a subscriber to them a few years back, they came out with this package of their own fine liners. So they're still working for me. And then I have the 72 pack of Inkonics. And then on top of that, I have random stuff. I've got Papermate Flares. I've got the 2 different sets of Fudabiori, Fudenosuka. Yeah, I've got the 2 brands of those, Tombow and Pentel. They're both the Japanese versions. And just sundry other things in here. So I have things that are not quite fine liners, like the Papermate Flares. They're a little bigger than 0.4 millimeter, and I have some really tiny things in here like Mangaka. I've got Zig Mangaka, a couple of them in here, and they're like 0.3. Oh, this one, oh no, I guess they're both bigger than, I got a 0.5 and a 0.6, but they're pretty tiny. So this is what we're going to be working with, and I needed a blue-green, and I saw one there just a minute ago. So this looks like a good blue-green. And I wanted 15 for that. So right now I'm going to zoom you into my working area. So we're going to color the 15s this blue-green. I don't have any pre-planned colors that I use. You know, 15's not always this pen, as you can see. I just picked it quite quickly. I don't like all my pages in a book looking the same. If I use the same pen for one number throughout the whole book, then it gets boring and the pictures all look alike. So I like to just randomly pick my colors as I go along. Looks like that's the only 15 in here. Okay, that's 19. Sometimes while I'm doing this book I do have to use magnifying glass, but I'm going to get by without one today. Oh, you know what I bought? And yeah, nobody else will know about this till I do my end of the month haul. But I bought this hands-free magnifying glass. And you wear it on your head. You can either wear it as glasses or a headband. I'm wearing the headband because it's more secure that way. And on the front, there's this little device on the front that sticks out. And then I think there's 5 different magnifying things, which look like the things at a optometrist's office. And you stick those in. And so it's got 5 different magnifying whatevers. And it's fantastic. I just sit here and, you know, I've got my headgear on. It looks like I'm getting ready to go into the mines, but I just sit here with my headgear on and I color away the tiniest little things. And I did see a 15 here. Just a minute. Oh, I did it. What is that? It's either a 16 or a 19. Okay, I think that's it for the 15s on this guy. Is that a 5? Yeah. Okay. So now next we need is a 16. And that is deep blue-green. Okay, so I'm going to look for something like this that is there. That will work. This is definitely blue-green. Okay, so we're using this for 16. So there's one thing in these books that make them a little bit more extra than other color by number books, is that these really are intended to, I can't tell if that is a 16. I'm going to do it 16. It just makes them a little bit extra, is that they have a 0. And a 0 is called shade. I think that's what it's called now. It's called shade. In the older books, it's called black shade. And now what that means is that if you're working in pencil, that spot that has the 0 in it is going to be a shaded spot. So you're going to use your pencil crayon and you're going to color it the same color as the one above. And then you're going to go over it with black so that you're going to turn it into a shade. Now, the black will just darken it up. You're not going to like push real hard. You just very gently put some black over top to turn the color a little different. What I do is, when I come to a 0, because I always use markers in these, though I would like to try pencil crayons and see how it goes. But I like the vibrancy of markers. So, yeah, what I do is when I get to the 0, I color it in the same color as the one above, like you're supposed to, and then I just move on. I don't worry about shading it. And so far I have not ever seen any deficiency in my pictures from other people's because I do that. Now I did hear someone say somewhere at some time that an idea to do if you're using markers, would be to just pick a color that's a shade darker than the one above and color in that 0 with that color. That's fine and dandy. The only problem that I can imagine with that is that there could be a color that's a shade darker on your list, and you wouldn't want to run into using the same color twice. Okay, so 16s. Nope. Next one is 17, and there's a few of those. So 17 is orange. Okay. Big difference. And we just have a regular orange. So let's go with this one, which is a Stettler. Oh, and the one that we just used was a Stabilo. And these are the .88s. They are the fine liners. And so this is a Stettler Triplus fine liner, and that's what we're going to use for the 17s. So we can already see this little guy is going to be colorful. I love these colors too, like you know, these bluey greens right here, I call them turquoise. I love those colors. Whether they're on the green side or if they're on the blue side, I still love them. And then I love putting them with orange or red. And other colors as well. Just have to not talk a little bit while I'm doing this, because as you can see it's rather fine work. And then we have 17 on his toe. Well, the rest of them's 5. Okay, so that's 17 in this one here. Okay, see, now I've come across a 0 beside this one, so I'm just going to include that. Now, it sounds like there's somebody at my door, but I can't go get it, obviously. I hope it's a delivery. Well, there's only one thing I'm expecting, and that's something that I ordered last month, and it is finally on its way here. So it was at the border in New York. It just spent 6 days in one town in New York, and after the end of 6, no, did I say, no, it's days. At the end of 6 days, it moved to another town in New York. Now, New York is just right across the border from me, so I am hoping that whatever that town is called is the town that has the customs thing, and so that it went through American customs and is in Canadian customs the last time I looked, because Canadian customs doesn't scan the box until it's leaving. Okay, so got another 17 here. You know, I have a feeling that I imagined that doorbell sound. It only happened once. Yeah. There's a good possibility that I imagined it and it was just something from my son's game. Okay, so 15. Oh, what happened? I lost some light in here. Okay, so we got any more 15s? Nope. Now there are 5s and 6s, so let's do the 5 first. And 5 is light orange, okay. Wow, those are far apart on the grid. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about the grids in the Creative Haven, not the grid, the color palette in the Creative Haven is that they don't have the color families together, which really makes it awkward for the colorist. Okay, so I want light orange. Now, there's a good chance I'll be using the Sketchbox one because they're basically pastel shades. But I'm just looking. Here's one. Okay, so this is the Sketchbox one. Yeah. Sometimes I use these and they've run out, so we'll have to see what happens. Nope, it's working fine. Okay, so we're doing the 5s. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's a 0. I guess I'll do it that color. Shows that. So I need my... Okay, I've just noticed that a space that I didn't think had any number in it has a 0. So I'm going back and coloring it in the same color as what was beside it. Okay, so back to 5s. Whoops. So yesterday, moving van was here and some people moved into that house I told you about across the street. Could not tell who was moving in though, because before the moving truck arrived, there was a woman about my age in the front yard just doing some raking and stuff, and then there was a man around the same age sitting on there's like a bench on the, they kind of like have a front porch. It's got like half of one, I guess, and there was a bench on that, and there was a man sitting there, so I thought they were the ones moving in. Okay, now we're going to move to 6, and there's a 0 there, so 6 is light gray. Oh boy. Okay, oh, right here I can see one. It's kind of hard to tell if that's a blue or not. Yeah, that's a blue-gray, and it's a dark, not light. And that's gray, but it's dark. Here is a light gray. Alright, so I've got a Stabilo. But then the truck came, and with the truck, there was a couple of younger men. And now at first, I thought, well, maybe they're the truck drivers and the movers. Though not many people around here hire movers to move them in. This is not exactly a high income bracket. So then I thought that, but then one of the men, and these were young ones, he had keys to the house, and he went inside, and just from the way he was walking around and stuff, it kind of felt like he owned the place, or, you know, he just had a sense of ownership about him, the way he was walking around. And that's all I saw. I never actually saw anybody moving any furniture in. Okay, so now there's a 0 right above where I'm working, so I'm going to go up to that and color it in this color. So yeah, who knows? And all day today, nothing. The house could still be empty for all I know. They haven't put up curtains yet or anything. And of course from here I can't see in. Not that I would go looking in the house anyways. And I can't get myself out there. And my husband absolutely hates it when I want him to stop so I can see things that are going on. They're like, mind your own business. I want to know. I want to know. Well, you know, when you're stuck in the house all day, it's kind of... Okay, so now he has a white stripe down the middle of him without any number in it. So what happens in these books is that occasionally you get white spots that you're just positive ought to be, that, you know, they don't look right there, and you go ahead and you color them in whatever color you think. Other times the white is there because it's supposed to be white. Okay, well, let's move on and do one of these flowers now. Okay, so right away I see a 5, and we used 5 already. That was the light orange. So that's for the little pistil. Is that what it's called? Oh, we got some of the same colors here. Maybe not many, but some. Just let me see if I see. I might kind of work on all the flowers at the same time, keeping this one in mind to being finished. Okay, so they all have this little thing sticking out of the middle of them, which I think is called the pistil, or the stamen. I don't know, those are the only 2 words I remember from science class. So you see how the spaces are tiny in these books. There's no way you could use alcohol markers or even Sharpies, ultrafines and stuff, because you'll go outside of the lines for sure. Okay, so the other one I noticed the same was 17, but I forget what that is. And I can't see through my numbers, so it must have been a dark one. It was orange. Now this is the only number I've seen that's the same. So last night was kind of exciting, and not exactly a good way, but exciting for the window watcher that I am. Is I'm laying in bed and I look up out of the window and there is this great big stream of not quite black, but very, very dark gray smoke going straight up into the sky. And I'm like, oh no, that's definitely something on fire. And so I call my husband, and he comes running because he can't tell what I'm saying, and he thinks that maybe something's on fire in my room or something. So he comes, and I tell him, and he's like, oh, okay, and he takes a look. And I'm like, how about you go have a look and see what that is? I can't help it. You know, I mean, I like to have my looky-loo, but, you know, also I want to know if it's somewhere that we know, you know? Is there, you know, is there someone we know in trouble, or do we know, is it a place of business, or, you know, what? And he goes, no, he says, that's pretty far away. And I said, what, isn't it just down on the corner? Like, I named the place that's on the corner. I said, isn't it around Taps? And he says, no, he says, that's way over across the bridge. And so yeah, I know what that, I know that area of town. We call it, well, locals call it Silver Town, because it used to be, that's where the factories used to be in town, and all the factory workers lived over there, and I guess that's how it got its name, Silver. Okay, so that's it on that one for 17. What about this one? So yeah, I tell you, seeing that smoke last night was probably the most exciting thing that's happened to me all week. Haven't been anywhere. This is the week I don't go to the pain clinic, which is pretty good because I'm doing really good this week for pain. It's more, you know, generalized in my usual spots. Hard time I have a really hard time bending, but I have a harder time getting out of the bend of, like, you know, standing back up or you know, sitting back up straight. Okay, I think those are the only colors that we had reappearing from the other side. So I'm just going to go in order here with the colors. So it looks like there's one that has no number in it at all, and then we have a 10. Violet, and that looks like it's a light purple because the color palette is showing it as a light purple. So looks like something like this or this. Which one's lighter? Okay, now those look like the exact same color, so let's try those. They're not. These are Arteza Inkonics. I've got number 188 and 142, so let's see what the difference is between them. Okay, that one is dark. So is this one. This one is just ever so much more bluer. It's a bluish purple, while this is a reddish one. But very hard to see the difference. What's that? Oh, there we go. There's a light purple. And this is a Stabilo. Just check it out. No, it's not as light as it looks, but we'll go with it. So 10. I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, I was talking about boring week. The fire was the most exciting thing. Just refreshing my memory here. Yeah. That's really about it. Sorry to be boring. Oh, yeah, I was talking about how my pain was good, or not bad, or I don't know how to describe it. Like, I always have pain. It's just that it gets intense and unbearable. And that's when I say it's going bad. But yeah, so I have nothing there to tell you about my health. It's just holding still. No news is good news, right? Okay, so it looks like every single one of these. Oh, just a minute. I have to put my leg up. And let me get the chair closer. Okay, I'm just gonna try and get myself sat back in the chair. There we go. I'll pull myself closer. Okay, gotta use this chair like it's supposed to be used, instead of hunching forward in it. Oh, just a minute. Okay, that's a lot better. Now I'm a little bit too far away from the book, but that's okay. I can still see. Sort of. Okay. So all the flowers are like this. These are going to be pretty, aren't they? These books are so beautiful. And there's a whole bunch of them coming out for the rest of this year too. There's an autumn one coming out which sounds really nice. I can't remember the name of it. But Dover is still having a hard time getting their books to Canada. I pre-ordered Angela Porter's latest book, Creative Haven book. It had something to do with the sea and had like fish pictures and patterns and sea-themed stuff inside. And I received an email not too long ago that the expected delivery date was now September something. So I canceled my pre-order because it came out in like what, September? It's just ridiculous. I want to pre-order the George Tufexis' new books, but they won't. I won't get them for pre-order. They'll probably be a month after the date at least. Because like right now on Amazon Canada, the Angela Porter book is for sale by a third-party seller. Oh, and you know, it really gets me sometimes, and Amazon should not allow it to happen. But when something is available on .com and not on .ca yet, the listing will be there, and maybe it's listed as, you know, coming on such and such a date, or it's not. You know, it could just be listed and put as currently unavailable. Like that's what happened with the Monarchs. Like, they're available here now, and they're for sale for like a really reasonable price, like $38 or something like that. You know, I thought like with the jack up in prices that most publishers put on their stuff to be sold here, that they were going to be like, you know, 60 or, you know, 70, something outrageous. But back to what I was actually talking about was that while they weren't available, it didn't say what date they were coming, and it also didn't say currently unavailable. It was just the listing and, you know, nothing there. And then along comes an American third-party seller who is selling it for $109. And that happens all the time with something that comes out in the States before it comes out in Canada, is that some third-party American sellers will put it on for sale at like 8 times the price. Now I wish they hadn't taken the contact buttons off of Amazon. Like, you used to be able to reply to somebody who left a comment, and you used to be able to email the seller if you had a third-party seller. You know, it all went through Amazon's system, so like no private information was given away, but you could email the seller and ask them a question. Now you can't contact them at all, because, you know, I'd like to contact those people and just tell them how outrageous the price is. Like, I bought my Spearer Farbens from .com because they were like 30, I bought the set of 72, which was $30-some American, I think, and they were 70 Canadian. So I bought the Spearer Farbens. I bought a 72 slot pencil case for them to go into, and then that money was the price had shipping added on to it. I don't, oh no, I'm pretty sure it had a small customs fee go on it. And then all that was converted to Canadian dollars, and it was still cheaper than what it would have been if I had bought the same thing, the Spirofarbens in a case. So, just ridiculous sometimes. And everything's gone up in price anyways now because of the economy and everything. That's strange because it's got a 10. I hope I didn't. I think I might have colored the white part purple. Oops. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Because those all go around and this shifts when those are supposed to go around. Well, these were supposed to go around and shift there. Because I'm going to have to include that as making the 10 bigger, or the one underneath of it bigger. But it's bigger there. Okay. I think if I include it as part of the next color, it will look better. Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to finish up this bit here. Well, let me finish the 10s because I have one spot next to it to do. And then we'll close off. Sorry I didn't have too much to say this time, guys. It's just hard when you don't have anything to say. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I wanted to thank everybody who's entered in the Fire and Ice Challenge. You guys have been doing fantastic jobs. Absolutely love the pictures that you're coming up with. If you haven't already, go on to Instagram and type in the hashtag and take a look at the pictures that some of you guys have done. It's hashtag Fire and Ice CAL. Oh, no it isn't. It's hashtag Nikki's Fire and Ice CAL. I figure if I start all my hashtags with Nikki's, then they're not going to be duplicated. And if there's another chick out there calling her hashtags Nikki's, I'm going to find her. Okay, there, so we did our 10s. Now, the next, let's take a look at what the next color will be around these flowers so we can imagine them. It's 22. Purple. So it's going to be a darker purple. Yeah, they're going to be pretty. And our little lizard guy here is pretty. But if I was there and he was there, I would be running, screaming that way. I don't like creepy crawlies, especially great big huge creepy crawlies like that. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for now, and I think that this might be it for the week, because tomorrow is Saturday, so yeah, I'm going to say goodbye, and if I have something to add Saturday or Sunday morning, I will, but usually, well, I mean, usually by Sunday I have it all uploaded and ready to go first thing Monday morning. So, yeah, I'm going to sign off, and I hope you're all doing well and keeping safe and healthy. We all know that this too shall pass, but in the meantime, we have to hold steady. And I will probably see you next week with a midweek video. I've got some things coming up here that I have to film, and it's a good chance that I'll get to them next week. So if not, I'll put up some more flip throughs, because I'm way behind on them. So I'd like to get caught up. And yeah, so that's all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.